All right, so we're gonna go on to the news now. We're gonna move on. Again, we don't have much news going on, so hopefully the articles that we do talk about, we're gonna talk about in length. The first one is Ubisoft Singapore. Back in 2013, they were working on a Black Flag DLC, which eventually turned into its own separate MMO game away from the Assassin's Creed franchise. This game has been developed for 8 years now and just got reported to be in the alpha state, and that game is Skull and Bones. So, according to Ubisoft, no one knew what the game would be like. Game mechanics, environments, ship controls, etc. They went through so many changes, the game became a mess to deal with. It also went through numerous trend setting genres, such as survival style, like Arc games or Rust, to games like Sid Meier's Pirates and PvP focused combat. This info, according to Gamerant, which I'll read a quote from, they said, people would learn about the project, see how it works and everything around it, and then leave. It was constant. Many staffers jumped ship for higher paying and better managed companies like Riot, Facebook, and Tencent. We talked about
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed before being used and relied on so much that the studio seems to not know what else they can really do. Their potential, their artistic vision, it's practically it's gone stale. I mean, like you could look at like Watchdog or Far Cry. Far Cry still does really well, but it hasn't really changed much. And Watchdogs, the less said, the better. Uh, they've
No,
they
please indulge us.
they barely strayed away from to something more creative since like maybe the Division and
See,
Division 2 is not that different from Division 1, but also
No,
Immortal Phoenix Rising, which was pretty good, but that was more of a
that
how
was
do they
fun.
say,
That was really good.
that was more of like a Breath of the Wild type of game. So
No.
they branched off briefly, but not so much with anything else. So what are your thoughts on the news on that? Randy, you were going to say something first.
yeah, I had mentioned in a very, very long ago episode, um, the Ubisoft has a kind of blueprint for their games where it's genuinely just an open world, big ass map, and all these fucking points on it that you have to do. Far Cry, same shit. Assassin's Creed, same shit. If you break it down, the only thing that's different is, I guess, like the USP of the story or just the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, there is no selling point. It's just an Ubisoft game.
Or the point of view.
No, yeah, either first person or third person. Yeah, definitely. But it's the same fucking generic bullshit all the time. And what sucks is that a lot of game companies are they stick with what's safe for them.
Yeah.
For this, I kind of understand. Yeah, for this, I understand like what they want to do because what is it? Black Flag got a lot of good reviews in terms of like the ship combat and shit like that. Like it was very unique. It was very different, but it also seems like the consumer's at fault for this because even though they were very happy about that, it wasn't a cue for Ubisoft to make a game solely about that sailing mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like
well, that's kind of why they did the whole Skull and Bones thing in the first place. I guess they saw some potential in the whole sailing mechanic stuff, but they didn't know where to take it.
No, of course, and that's totally fine. Like, you know, more power to you. I'm all for the whole like creativity and going out and doing Skull and Bones because it's something different from what the fuck they're doing. But what by me saying it's the consumer's fault, they want to stay to what's safe. They want to stay to what the Ubisoft game is traditionally supposed to be. Yeah. Far Cry never changed. Assassin's Creed hasn't fucking changed either.
Mm-hmm.
Division, even that is an open world. Just fucking, you go to this point on the map, you go to the next point on the map, you liberate some fucking camp, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Assassin's Creed game has changed drastically. We talked about that in a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, it's an RPG.
But what we complained about was the fact that they're still using the Assassin's Creed name for a game that doesn't play like Assassin's Creed anymore.
Well, on the Division aspect and that, I mean, it does have its fan base, but it's not because of the main storyline. It's the aftermath, what people like to do afterwards.
The end game content.
The end game content, because they basically have, you know, quote unquote dungeons and raid mechanics,
instances
in it, and that is where it becomes a completely different game than the average Ubisoft. It starts off very much, yeah, you go from point A to point B to point C, yes. You know, go go to that fucking guy, kill this person, come back, go to that guy, get something, come back, yes. But afterwards it becomes very different. And with the mechanic of the players being able to kill you and take all your shit and whatever, that all that is interesting.
Hmm.
I just can't get into it because the beginning part of it is really bad. That, like you said, that first mechanic is annoying to do.
Yeah, yeah. I remember playing the raids for the first division game, and they were actually pretty fun. But in general, I don't like realistic shooter type games,
Yeah, me
especially in the
neither.
MMO vein. I just can't get into the realism like that. I'd rather deal with like fantasy type of RPGs. So that's just my preference. Like, there's nothing wrong with the game.
Yeah, no. End of the day, it's like kind of what you want. Like personally, I don't like the same generic bullshit. That's just me. I like a really good story or something that I would deem a really good story. But yeah, no. Again, just as you said before, we give our opinions.
Kevin, what were your thoughts on that?
I'm gonna go to a point that Randy said earlier about I would say developers getting comfortable in the term of I'm not gonna well I'm gonna say it because I have to take Sharp on this. In the terms of like every fighting game, the more comfortable you get, the more easier you are to figure
I
out.
love how we're very specific on what we take shots on, like me and Randy, like Kingdom Hearts or Destiny, but like anything fighting at all whatsoever, Kevin's got to take a shot for it.
Yeah.
No, because the thing is, it's like that. That's
It
his
shouldn't
bread
be
and butter.
fighting. It was at first it was just dragon. It was
I thought
fighters,
it
right?
was just Dragon
No,
Ball.
no, no.
It's
It,
just
it was
fighters.
just fighting games.
Oh
It was
yeah,
just
yeah,
fighting.
yeah,
Yeah, the moment I mentioned a term or anything from it, that's it. I get shot.
yeah.
But
I'm sorry. So what were you saying?
no, so in the what I was saying is if the moment you get comfortable and you get figured out, there's no more guessing game. Like they're just gonna punish you forever that everything that you do that's obvious.
Hmm.
Ubisoft has gotten comfortable, which means that they're not gonna expect you to run up and grab them. They're not gonna expect you to literally overhead them. They're not gonna expect anything like if the consumer jumps ship because of the comfortability that, as Randy said, the consumer asked for. They both played part in this downfall because consumers wanted the same game over and over and over again. Not saying that it's the exact same game, but they ask for the exact same thing, or sometimes differences, not much, but the differences in the game. And I'm saying that with hard quotations. And then they got what they wanted, and then they're bitching and moaning that this is going to be something. This is not what we asked for. Blah blah blah.
Hmm.
So I'm not really surprised that this is what's going on. It's gonna come out and it's either gonna be like Syndicate or it's gonna be like Black Flag, and it's either gonna be a good or a bad game. Honestly, I'm not saying it in the. I'm saying this in the meanest way possible. I don't give a flying fuck.
Wait. About Skull and Bones?
About Skull and Bones. If it's
Okay.
if it's about if it's just like a Black Flag spinoff, I really didn't.
I don't think so. I felt like it was gonna be more of like an RPG version of Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves,
Yeah,
but Sea of Thieves is already a thing.
it is. It
Yeah.
is.
That's the
Yeah.
problem. You can't be.
That's probably why they kept saying they kept going back and forth for what they want to be because it's like, oh wait, now we can't do this. They already have this. They already
Right.
older. We can't do this. Now they have this.
Right.
It's a
So,
it's a been there done that kind of thing. So if you're not first, you're last, and
Hmm.
that's pretty much
well,
what.
at least if you can't do it better, at least.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much what they are.
So they're
And
kind of stuck with it. They said they're still going to continue with the game. It's on the alpha phase, but yeah, you're right. They're kind of stuck with what they got right now, and it's kind of already all stale. It's kind of like that Duke Nukem type of situation where you take so long to make a game, the generation that was interested in it in the first place is already left behind.
hold on,
hmm
I gotta show this.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that because I'm kind of into the idea of the fucking Skull and Bones thing.
Yeah.
Because as long as they don't end up turning it into their same generic bullshit, it should do fine.
God, that's awful.
Personally, I haven't played Sea of Thieves. I have taken an interest in it. I just
Mhm.
haven't had the time to play it. Maybe once this one finally comes out, I'll play both just to see how they are like in comparison.
Sea of Thieves, I'm
Well,
down.
Sea of Thieves would definitely, I would assume, would play very different from Skull and Bones. But Sea of Thieves,
Here's fucking
it's
hoping.
charming. It's an interesting game. I played it when it first launched. I got through maybe halfway through the game, and what pissed me off the most was just the PvP aspect of it, because you couldn't really turn it on or off. So it was kind of annoying getting
That drives me
robbed.
nuts.
Yeah, it was annoying getting robbed every 30 minutes of all your work and shit, and losing most of your
Run
stuff.
it down pocket, yeah,
Yeah.
scallywag.
I hate PvP.
My
very
God.
much so yeah, there's that. Danny, did you give out your thoughts about Skull and Bones in general?
I have no real thoughts on it because I don't like those type of games. I mean, it just sounds like it's like they can't figure out how to make a fucking pirate simulator game, and that's to me that aspect of those games is what I hate the most. Like the part in Breath of the Wild or whatever the fuck it was with the boat, in the Zelda game with the boat.
Wind Waker?
I hate it.
Wind Waker?
Wind Waker, fucking hate it. Absolutely hate it.
A drop
Like,
kick him. He was like,
I am whatever, it's all the same shit. Fucking Zelda game, and it becomes, but that aspect is what I hated about it. And then I remember the same thing for the Assassin's Creed. It's like the Assassin's Creed
Black
game
Flag.
was kind of fun, Black Flag, but the part that I didn't like about it was the stupid
sailing.
the sailing part. So the fact that they want to make a whole game based off the part that I didn't like is to me it's just and people tend to like it. I don't understand why.
So
I
you'd
guess they
probably like
didn't want to.
the pirate aspect except for the sailing.
Yeah,
Look,
no,
all Danny wanted was the booty. That's it.
I bet he
I
did.
mean, I don't see the need for anybody to make a pirate game. Like, I don't know, are pirates really the one that people want? Oh, I can't wait to have that next pirate game.
Well, I mean, everybody has their fantasies and stuff. Everybody's got, they want to be a cyberpunk, cybernetic,
2077.
augmented person. They want to be an elf. They want to be a mage. They want to be a lot of different things.
ninja?
So a ninja, yeah. There's a hell of a lot of different role playing aspects that you could do. So
The
why
best
can't
ninja
you...
simulator was Tenchu.
Yeah.
Well, we could debate about that.
Oh.
But
Okay,
yeah,
Ghost-
fighting words out
my
here. Hold
point
on.
is, my point
The
is,
best-
there are
the
lots
best
of
time is
people
Ghost
out
of
there who want to
Tsushima.
be. Ooh, yeah, I like that. I like that argument.
Yeah.
But
I'm not against it. I'm just against the platforming. That's it.
Yeah, but my point is that there are people out there who want to try the whole pirate thing, and there's pirates out
Yeah,
there being
and I get it, and I can see when people like it and they make a big deal about it. But again, to me, I just think it's silly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and why would you want to play a game that goes really slow, back and forth? Because that's what they all feel like that.
That is true. I think that was one of the so one of the things I did like Wind Waker. I loved Wind Waker. It's one of my favorite Zelda games. But
So fucking slow.
when they did the HD version, you're right. And when they did the HD version, they did change that up. So they made the speed of the sailing a lot faster, and they actually also shortened the map a bit, so that way there is less sailing as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
With Sea of Thieves, they kind of as you're sailing, they kind of give you things that you could do to keep yourself entertained. But again, it's a role playing aspect. Like you could play the harmonica or the accordion to kind of start some music. You can kind of mess around with your inventory and customize certain things and do certain things while you're sailing to your next stop and stuff like that. I think yeah, you're right. The whole sailing aspect can be boring if you're not doing anything in between. So if you can find that sweet spot of trying to find something to do while you're waiting for the next point, then maybe it'll be more appealing.
Or just go fishing. The same shit.
Go fishing while you're moving.
No,
Go
I mean
fishing
real
for a
life.
kraken.
In real life, just fucking go on a boat, fucking go.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, just
You mean if you have
the
that
whole.
itch for the ocean?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
the whole concept of pretending that you're on this ocean doing nothing and trying to kill time to me is just silly.
Mm.
It's not interactive. It's not a game, and it's not interactive. It's not controlling is not fun. So the fact that you're just
Mm.
doing it and going slowly left to right, and then fine, the parts when they do fight each other and jump on board and do all that might be fun, but it's the in between that I just can't. I don't get.
Yeah.
But
The Sea
yeah,
of Thieves, they have some potential too. Like you run into like sea monsters and ghost ships and stuff like that, so, and random encounters and stuff like that. That's kind of cool.
Lots of
I
like
think that's
PVE
cool.
shit.
Yeah, PVE stuff, not necessarily PvP. You can also run into other people's ships and do PvP stuff, but yeah, aside from that, PvE the aspect, things have really changed. I know they've changed a lot since I played the game, so I don't know how much they really added, but I know it's gotten better.
Yeah, no, Sea of Thieves has definitely been one, kind of like No Man's Sky, where they've made a lot of improvements since like the vanilla release.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I
don't know. All I'm hoping is that they just don't make it into like their generic Ubisoft bullshit.
Yep, that's what I worry. They probably
because
play it safe.
Yeah, sadly, because a lot of developers that's all they do. Like the reason I love games from like the PS2 era and back is because everyone took a risk in doing something.
Yeah.
You know, like there wasn't just like, oh, this is the same formula that we have to do. Like who does Call of Duty? Activision?
Yeah, Activision
they swap between
Treyarch?
quite a few studios. Yeah.
But either way, it's the same shit, different name. Ubisoft, Far Cry is the same shit, different name. Fucking, I think their most unique one was like Far Cry 1 and 2 and Crisis 1.
Crisis, yeah. Crisis was
Crisis was fucking amazing, and we're not going to have another fucking game like that.
Yeah.
Because even then, 3 was pretty out.
They're doing the remastered stuff, but it's more of the same thing.
Oh, can I just throw this real quick? Did you guys see the remaster for Dead Space that they announced?
Oh
no! What?
Hello?
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't see that? Yeah, they showed like the room with the monster come out.
Yeah.
And then they don't show much of the footage or anything, but then they showed the back of him, like briefly.
Yep. I saw that shit on Twitter, and I was like, "Ooh,
so it's a remaster, or remake."
Yep. No, it's a remake.
Oh shit! Okay,
they're remaking it.
Okay.
Hopefully they don't do what they did with 3, where they made it like action horror, but it's like hard emphasis on action.
No,
because
more horror.
What?
Nah, it seems like they're more emphasizing the the horror aspect of it mostly.
Okay, that's good. Because 1 and 2 were really good. 3 was just utter dick. 3 was Lost Planet.
It was,
but Dead Space version.
That was the Resident Evil effect, you know. After Resident Evil 4, then they kind of lost their way. It started to become more action oriented, and then they pulled themselves back from it. Hopefully, this franchise is the same thing.
Because 1 was really scary, and 2 had its moments, honestly. But what I love about 2 is that it had a good balance of like you fleshed out who Isaac was as a character, if anything. Yeah. So because like they gave him more of a personality as opposed to just being like your silent hero, it was fun. It made sense. You got like more into him, and then 3 was just Lost Planet meets Mulan 2.
Yeah, and then the biggest thing is also that the storyline. The story aspect. Mulan, yeah, Mulan was just the Disney one.
No. Mulan 2, the sequel, the one that was like straight to DVD.
I would.
It's just marital issues.
Oh my god,
marital issues.
That's all it is. I'm serious.
That's funny.
Because in 3, Isaac was going through the breakup, and he's like, "Oh, Ellie, you're with another guy," and it's like, "All right, shut the fuck up. We're having a Dead Space."
This is Dead Space.
God, I don't remember part 3 at all. I know I played it, and
oh, dude, I hated it. I fucking hated it.
I thought it was like very similar. Like it was just like an action game versus.
I didn't like the outdoor stuff either from it. Like it
had like like
snow.
Jumping around outside. Yeah.
Oh, that shit was annoying.
Yeah.
When you're like scaling the cliff sides.
Yeah.
So my final thoughts on this pirate thing. The entire time we were talking about it, I was thinking of Irish Rovies. That's how you pronounce the song.
What?
Sea shanties.
Yeah, sea shanties. No. Oh. Isn't it Irish Rories? Rovers. That was the only song I was thinking in my entire head. If you guys, just let me be.
Can anybody say Irish wristwatch 3 times fast?
Irish.
Iris.
All right, I gave up. That's it. That's my attempt.
That was it.